the basics are way more advanced than the advanced concepts. That may sound completely crazy, but you should pay or you should have it drilled into you to master the fundamentals before trying to move on. And even when we typically move on to more advanced things, they are just iterations of the foundational concepts. So when it comes to strength and conditioning and rehab, a lot of times the things that really matter are things like graded exposure, where we're just trying to find an entry point for the thing that we want to do. It drove me nuts when I was in the hospital, where people would take people who can walk, but they can only walk like 10 feet. And instead of just having them walk 10 feet over and over again to build the capacity to walk further, they would do like gimmicky little silly exercises in bed. Now, it doesn't mean that those exercises were never useful. There is some amount of just doing general training to help improve the walking capacity of somebody. But for the most part, the thing that that person should have been spending their time doing is walking, because it is a primary goal for them. It is the thing that demands the most concentration and energy, and it requires the most skill. And you can apply the same principle to just about anything else. When people are doing like mobility work to improve their squat, they probably just need to be squatting for the most part. Some amount of squat oriented more mobility work, maybe spending a ton of time in the position, maybe moving around and like bouncing, maybe doing some form of plyometric work can be really useful in addition to just squatting more. And sometimes that might mean squatting to a box, squatting to a target, doing pin squats, doing tempo squats. Most of the training for your mobility for squatting should look like a squat. And this is where people get really lost in the sauce, is they think that there's some advanced concept that's going to help them with the fundamentals instead of just drilling the fundamentals. One of my clients, one of my athletes, basically came back to me after working together for a period of time. It's like, it's crazy because you're really just having me do the simple stuff that I know is going to be beneficial really well for long periods of time, when I used to just deviate from those things early on. And that's the key, is usually drilling the basics, getting good at the foundational pieces, and then learning to expand upon them in ways that help you with your sport or your life. That person is a runner, and she wasn't really big into strength training. She knew she needed to do some of it, but she honestly thought it was way more complicated than it needed to be. And really we're doing 2 to 3 strength oriented workouts in addition to her running regimen, and we're also just managing her overall workload really well and improving her ability to be a runner by making her sprint, having her do some other running related activities that she wasn't doing. She was mostly just doing long and slow runs. And going back to the foundations of being an athlete has really improved her capacity. So put your emphasis on the fundamentals, the basics, and build the foundation, and then do that over and over again, and you'll go further than always trying to find the secret sauce or the advanced techniques, because honestly, there aren't any. That's all I got for today. Peace.